Treasurer Jim Chalmers has just released his 2025 pre-election budget, and I'm going to talk you through what that means for small businesses and punters like me and you. Now, I do apologize in advance. I had to rush this video a little bit because I wanted to make sure I got it out to you guys as soon as possible. The budget still needs to pass both houses of parliament. However, the theme of this budget was attacking the cost of living pressures experienced by a lot of Australians at the moment. And the even more deeper theme to this was trying to achieve an interest rate reduction by Christmas time. To help achieve an interest rate reduction and fight inflation, this budget is a little bit lackluster. However, let's talk through some of the items that were at least announced to start from 1 July. The first is the Stage 3 tax cut, which has already been legislated. Now, I've already created a video on this where I go through that in detail, so I'll leave a link to that in the description down below. Simply put, Aussies can expect anywhere between $350 to $4,500 extra in the hand per year, with a large portion of this targeted at lower income earners. Next, the government has announced a $300 energy bill rebate for every Australian household, which will come off your energy bill each quarter, and a $325 rebate for some small businesses. There are some senators blowing up saying that this rebate should have been means tested and that the wealthy and politicians don't need a $300 rebate. Take a listen to this.
What's your take on the cost of living measures? Firstly, we know this $300 rebate will go to all households, not just those under any sort of means test. Are you comfortable with everyone getting this rebate?
Absolutely, just like I'm not comfortable with people like myself and the super rich out there that got a $4,500 tax cuts. I tell you what, and then we're obviously getting the $300, not means tested. What are we, back in COVID days where we're just chucking money left, right and centre? Seriously, you're too lazy to do some means testing.
The reality is that it's very difficult to means test energy bill rebates. The energy companies don't have information about our personal income. They would have to get this information from the tax office or some other organisation, which would be an absolute nightmare. A second point to this is that the energy price is a very key item in the inflation calculation. So the government's been a little bit cheeky here. By reducing the amount that Australians have to pay on their energy bills, they are sort of reducing the price of energy, which will come into play in the next inflation calculation, which overall should help or assist the RBA in reducing interest rates. I don't quite understand how giving Aussies more money in the form of a smaller bill won't be inflationary. Nevertheless, I'm sure this rebate is welcomed by most Australians. This should help some renters. The government has announced a further 10% increase in Commonwealth rent assistance, which should help over 1 million Australian households. Having said that, about 75% of renters don't qualify for Commonwealth rent assistance. So this measure is good in that it would help the people most in need, however, won't help the majority of renters. And it's doing this to, again, prevent further inflationary pressures. The key here to drive down rents is opening up supply by the building of new premises. And the government has earmarked some money to invest in this, which is really good news. University students will be happy because there's a proposed cap on the indexation of student loans, as well as incentives to make tertiary education more accessible and more affordable for all Australians, which is good. The government has announced cheaper medication for everyone by placing a 1-year freeze on the pharmaceutical benefits scheme. They've announced further funding for domestic violence programs, further funding for healthcare programs. The government will extend its instant asset write-off, which will benefit small businesses with under $10 million of turnover. And they've announced their Future Made in Australia program, which offers tax incentives for companies in the clean energy space. This is quite a way away, so I won't touch on this one yet. That was a really quick summary. I hope you found it helpful. Let me know in the comments what you think about the budget, and if you want to help me grow my YouTube channel, please consider subscribing. See you in the next video.